Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Big Mike back here with you once again. And today, I have a special little treat for you. Today, I'm giving you my thoughts and reactions to not only NWA Hard Times 2, but AAA's TripleMainia Regia. I do hope I'm saying that correctly. Uh, from this past Saturday, although I did watch the AAA show on Sunday. Let's get started with NWA Hard Times 2. Now, first match on the pre-show I did miss, although it wasn't that long of a pre-show. We had Mims defeating Jack Stain, which that's kind of interesting. I mean, Jack Stain was, at one point, a number one contender to the world title, so maybe Mims gets the spot coming soon? Who knows? We'll see. Next match, it was originally scheduled as a triple threat. Then it was added in. Then Genocide and Paula Blaze cashed in Genocide's number one contendership when she won, what the heck was it? There was a championship series earlier in the year that was definitely a little different, but still pretty fun, where she got a number one contendership to whatever title she wanted. Decided to cash in on the women's tag team titles. So in this match we had Allison Kay and Marty Bell. We had Team Ambition, which I guess is the new team name for Kylie Ray and Tootie Lynn, in which I hope that sticks. That's a great pairing. Misa Kate and Natalia Markara. Two women I'm not super familiar with. And then Genocide and Paula Blaze. Match felt kind of like it was stuck in first gear a little bit. They tried to get into second gear. Not saying it was a bad match. There's definitely a few spots I could have lived without, but ultimately wasn't a bad match. The Hex successfully defend their titles. Give it a kind of thumbs in the middle. Was a little all over the place, but still, I found some enjoyment with it. Excuse me. Next up, a gauntlet match to figure out who bypasses the tournament for the new Junior Heavyweight Championship. Basically, it's a weight limit title, in which we're getting, I believe it said we're getting a new NWA show coming soon, NWA USA, in which I believe this title will be the main focus of, which I'm all for. Competitors include Homicide, Alex Taylor, Arya Davari, C.W. Anderson, Jamie Stanley, Jeremiah Plunkett, Kerry Morton, Ricky Morton's kid, Luke and PJ Hawks. Another new person, I forget his name, Dan Lombardi, something like that, had to withdraw because he wasn't cleared to go, so they replaced him with Ricky Morton, which is a nice surprise. Sal Ranallo and Victor Benjamin. This was less of a high-flying type match, although it was still very enjoyable. A lot of fast motion. It's basically the Royal Rumble, but with way less guys. Homicide ended up winning, which, that's good for me. I like Homicide's style, and I feel like he fits pretty well with the NWA. Next up, we got the main first match on the main card, Junior Heavyweight Championship qualifier match, as Austin Aries took on Rhett Titus. A little teacher versus student match, and it was It reminded me of how good in the ring Austin Aries is. Like, these two had some great chemistry. They shifted gears when needed to be. And after a brainbuster in the last chancery, you have your winner. Moving on to the next round, Austin Aries. And as much as I do disagree with the guy's thinkings, he is a damn good wrestler. I'll say that, and I've missed seeing him on my screen, so this match gets a big old thumbs up. Next up, our first interpromotional match, championship match, as Mickie James defends her Impact Knockouts title against Kyrie Hogan, who is, I guess, technically representing AEW, although she has shown up for NWA here and there too, so maybe not strictly with AEW, but I will say these two have some great chemistry, some great back and forth. Mickie James with a huge top rope tornado DDT. Fuego would be proud. Match ends with a bit of a roll-up by Mickie. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Low respectful handshake between the two of them. I absolutely love this match. Easily one of the matches of the night. I want to see more out of Mickie James here. Although she's got Deonna Purrazzo in a few weeks anyway, so that's going to be fun. Next up, defending their ROH, that's right, Ring of Honor being represented, World Tag Team titles, the OGK, that being Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, take on the team of Aaron Stevens and JR Kratos. This match was really good right out of the gate. A lot of massive moves, a lot of big spots. Match ends with the tag finisher of OGK on Stevens, who then post-match snaps, not really attacking anybody, but going over to the announce table saying, "This is boom, this is beer," and it's been a while since Stevens had some character development like this, although concerning his last tag team partner passed away, I cannot kind of understand why they would want to keep him babyface. But you know what? I like some good character development. The match was really good. Another thumbs up from me. Next up, we got our first NWA title on the line. It's the NWA World Women's Championship as Camille takes on veteran Melina. And I gotta tell you, the selling by Melina is still just... She could still go in the ring really well. Although maybe not as well as she used to, but she's still got that fire in her. You could tell. Camille ending the match with a submission, which is like, we haven't seen that much from her, which we've never seen that from her, which is like, again, more evolution, more character development. And Camille is getting fun to watch in the ring. She's taking on all comers, and I love it. Cannot wait to see what she does in the future. Again, another very good match. Thumbs up. Next up, we have the NWA World Television Title match, and it's no DQ, and it is also has a special guest ref, the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, if you remember him. As Tyrus defends against Scion, the Mystery Man. I was kind of hoping for one or two things out of this. One, maybe Scion wins the belt. Sadly, he did not. or two, we finally get a look at Zion, which, again, we did not, which, that's fine. I think this was Tyrus's best match, although it was less of a match, more of a skirmish finish game when Idol, G's, and Clearwater, who are Tyrus's cornermen, they interfered while Pope was being distracted. Tyrus then hits the hard punch on Zion for the 1, 2, 3, and the win. As a match, it's fine, but like I said, it's easily Tyrus's best match, but it was more of a fight, so slightly thumbs up, not terrible. Next up, a bit of a Clash of Styles match, as The End, which is Odinson and Pero, take on the NWA World Tag Team Champions La Rebellion, Bestia 666, and Mecha Wolf. You have the power of The End versus the speed of La Rebellion, and I gotta say, those styles clashed really well. All four have great chemistry, real back and forth until Odinson was singled out and he took the pinfall. Which, I would have done that another way. I would have hoped The End would have won that one, but you know what? Let's give these guys a bit of a longer run. Let's see what happens in the future. So, again, thumbs up. Another top match of the evening. I believe, and then post-match, while Rebellion are celebrating, we got a couple of familiar famous faces coming out to challenge, to step up, as we have JTG and apparently his new tag team partner, Dirty Dango, if you remember him. Fandango. That's right, Fandango is in the NWA, and I couldn't be happier for him. Let's see where he goes. Next, we have a segment with, I believe this is the one with Jazz, where she talks about her career and thanking people, and it was nice. It was beautiful. Next match was, I think, the lowest match on the card. Not because of the people in it, but the action was a little weird. As Chris Adonis defends his NWA National Championship. Yes, the NWA has a lot of titles. As Chris Adonis takes on Judas, who has James Mitchell in his corner, which is interesting. Yeah, the chemistry was a little weird between these guys. You got the big, lumbering, brute Judas, and the more technical side of Adonis. Excuse me. There was just something off about this. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't my favorite match. After a couple moves on Judas, where Adonis gets him to the ground, puts him in the master lock for the submission victory. Ending's fine. I don't know. I would have liked to see someone else get this shot, maybe. Although that's just me. And it was still a decent match, but it wasn't my favorite. Next up, we got a big old grudge match. Actually, before that, out comes Santa Foley. That's right, Mick Foley, making his presence known in the NWA, basically talking about his history in the promotion and all the guys he's wrestled against, seeing climb to the top. And then he says something about maybe later in the night, if someone's a little naughty, I'll come out and whoop some booty. So, yeah, I like Foley. He's a great guy. Always great seeing him. So next up is definitely, I think, sleeper match of the night, as we have Nick Aldis taking on his old ward, Tom Latimer. These two guys were in Strictly Business together, although Aldis was the clear leader when he was world champ. And then once he lost the championship to Trevor Murdoch, which surprised the heck out of me, Strictly Business kind of turned on Aldis, which is very interesting, including some post-match attacks, some cheating during matches. It's been obvious that Strictly Business wants to steer away from Aldis now and make maybe Latimer the new leader, although we'll see about that. These two guys have some great chemistry, great in-ring work. Aldis kept going for his Texas Cloverleaf, which did not happen. Latimer had a lot of counters to his moves until Aldis hit the pile driver, and then finally cinched in the submission for the tap out as Latimer. I'm surprised Nick Aldis won this match, but hopefully we get to see Latimer get one up on his old ally. I'll give this a thumbs up, and I believe this is going to be match of the night for me, which, coming up says a lot. All right. Next up, bit of a surprise match, as Colby Carino, who has now employed Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball Legursky, who are the Fixers, I believe they're called. And Colby is taking on very, very much veteran Doug Williams, who is having his first match back in the States on this night, which is very good. I miss seeing Doug Williams. This match was very offense heavy. Colby Carino getting his stuff in. Many teases for the rolling chaos theory, which is absolutely beautiful move, which Colby countered time and again. And then after distracting the ref, the Fixers get involved, crotching the Doug Williams on the ring post. Colby hits his finisher. 1, 2, 3. Colby Carino wins, which honestly I'm kind of surprised by that. But I think this is how you build heat with this guy. I think this is the way to go for Colby. And hopefully he eventually gets his comeuppance by someone. Not sure who, but we'll see. Another thumbs up of a match. This last match is a bit of a head-scratcher for me. It's the NWA World Heavyweight title match, as Trevor Murdoch is taking on Mike Knox. Now, Knox hasn't been in a match for a while. I'm going to say early 2010s when he was with Aces and Eights, I believe. Yeah, I think that was the last time we saw Knox in Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it. Post Power, I guess it was. No, it was some special episode that was earlier in the year. Murdoch was in a cage taking pictures with fans. In comes Mike Knox with a big old attack, and I guess that was enough for a world title shot, which is a little bit odd, but I'm not going to complain because I really like Mike Knox. He was very underutilized in, the Connecticut company. And a little bit in Impact too, if I may say. So it's nice to see him getting a little bit of a shot. This match started out a little slow. It never really got into the second gear until Murdoch was in position for his finish, hits the big old top rope bulldog for the win. I'm not going to give it a thumbs down because psychology was there, but ultimately it felt kind of like a nothing match. And overall it kind of felt like a nothing feud. This is what comes to this out of one attack. I don't know, something isn't adding up, so I'll give it thumbs in the middle. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either, if that makes sense. Post-match is where the interesting thing happens, as making his NWA debut, Matt Cardona, and he's kind of playing his heel GCW character, which honestly I'm kind of all for. Even though in Impact he's a babyface, here he's playing a heel. I kind of am okay with that. He gets in the ring. He and Nux start attacking Trevor Murdoch. Out comes Mick Foley saying, "Oh, Matt, you're a disgrace to Long Island," etc., etc. And I have a surprise for you. Out comes the Pope. Starts the comeback, but is ultimately knocked off by Nux. So it looks like next guy in line for the NWA title is Matt Cardona. And I can't believe I'm saying that. That's awesome. I'm ready for that. Let's go. And it also kind of looks like Mike Knox is going to be in his corner, which, alright, I guess they do kind of have some history, I think. So, overall, I did enjoy NWA Hard Times 2. Matches were good, moments were exciting, and there were some really good payoffs. Some better than others. Overall, give it a slight thumbs here. It could have been better, but it was still a very, very, very good show. And I highly recommend it. And now, time for something a little different. As we have AAA Regia II, TripleMainia. And if you are somehow not watching any Lucha Libre, I say get into it, because it is a lot of fun, a lot of high impact moves, and it's craziness. Alright, I'll get into it. Let's see. So, I guess only match on the pre-show was the Marvel tag match. I'm sorry, I did miss that one. Wasn't on the broadcast for some reason. I don't know. Does look like Captain America and whoever the heck Grand Mazo is. I guess that should be Ant-Man, maybe. Defeated their opposition. Cool. Didn't get to see it, sorry, but them's the breaks. Alright, we got the first match on the main card, and it is a lumberjack match. Lumberjack trios match. We're going to be seeing a lot of trios matches tonight, too. As Los Toxinas take on Fabi Apache, Lady Shani, and Sexy Star 2. This match was a little bit all over the place. It did start kind of in the ring, and then whenever people would get thrown out, they'd get kind of whipped. The ref did get involved when Lady Apache got in. I guess they have their rivalry. match came to a close when the Oxtisa group had, I want to say it was Sexy Star 2 in the ring on their own. They had a pretty sweet combination of moves, I'll say. And triple pin for the win. And a fast count by the ref, too, which was like, that was kind of crazy. For Chaos's sake, I think it was a fine outing. When it comes to wrestling, though, there wasn't really that much of it. So I'd say kind of here-ish. Like, I had my fun with it. Overall, I don't know. It wasn't a great match. Pardon me again. Next up, a three-way trios match. That's right. We got 3 different teams vying for a spot. And for the next shot at the AAA Trios titles, as we have NGD, who I now remember as the guys who came over from CMLL. They took on Los Vipers, which is Abaso Negro Jr., Azel, and Psychosis. And they also took on El Poro. I'm gonna butcher these names, god damn it. They took on Tito Santana. Not that Tito Santana. That dude's ancient. Cota Brava Jr. and Mosio Cota Jr. I'm sorry, I'm not really familiar with these guys. Action was once again fast and furious, and I believe included some weapons, which are like, steel chairs, tables, light tubes. Win came when NGD had, I want to say it was Psychosis all by himself in the ring. They had a fury of finishers. 1, 2, 3. That's the match. I'm not even going to try to talk about the post-match because a legendary luchador then came out to help Los Vipers take out the opposing teams. And he got a big pop. I forget who it is. I'm sorry. I know it's some legendary luchador who hasn't been around in a while. Cybernetico. That's who it was. Okay, so I'd say that's a pretty cool moment. Oh, and actually before this, he actually had an interaction with Conan, who was presenting a promo about, all the outsiders coming in and talking about how the Lucha Brothers, turned down their heritage to go to AEW, etc., etc. So, I'd say that's a pretty cool moment. Next up, another trios match, and I do believe this is the last one. There's one more coming later. As La Empresa, that's Puma King, Sam Adonis, and DMT Azul with Estrella, who kept getting involved, taking on Dave the Clown, Blank Clown, and Chessman. This match was less tame than the last one, apparently, as there was a moment where Azul tried to leg drop somebody. Who the heck was it? I want to say it was either Dave or Chessman through a table through light tubes in which he moved. It was definitely the heart of Lucha Libre here, and I did appreciate it. Finish came with Sam Adonis on the top rope and doing a I want to say it was a 450 or something, onto Dave the Clown, in which actually during the match, Puma King and Dave tried to rip each other's masks off, which, you know, in Lucha Libre cultures, that's pretty much the biggest insult ever. Yeah, match was won by La Impresia, which I'll admit that's impressive. So hopefully they do something fun with this team down the line. It's a solid match. Next up, a bit of an interesting one, as we have a tag team match. Playa. That's right, no more 6-man right now. As we have LFI, technically LFI, it's Dragon Lee and Dralistico, the original Sin Cara, as they took on Laredo Kid and a mystery opponent who ended up being Willie Mack, who, great to see him. He's a very, very underrated wrestler. This match was definitely slowed down a bit by Dragon Lee, but he's definitely more of a wrestler's wrestler, which I am okay with. And then Dralistico would come in and do the high-flying stuff. Same thing with Laredo Kid. And then Willie Mack with some really nice powerhouse spots, including the, kind of test your strength, run the ropes into the low guy spot, which is always cool. I believe match ended with a submission by Dragon Lee. And then after the match, Dragon Lee gets on the mic, pretty much challenges Laredo Kid for his AAA Cruiserweight title. So that's a match we're getting in the future. I'm down for that. Next matchup, we have a little bit of a rematch, I guess. I guess this is the deciding match in this trio of matches, as FTR defends their AAA tag team titles against the AEW tag team champions, the Lucha Brothers. And apparently somewhere during the night it got turned into a ladder match, which, okay. Match was fast and furious from the start, including with some, fighting in the crowd, which might have got FTR a little heat with the crowd down there in Mexico. Eventually everyone did get back into the ring. Ladder was set up. You did have who the heck was it? Penta trying to reach for the belts. Vicky Guerrero, who tonight was managing FTR, decided to get involved, ripped Penta down. Cash Wheeler with the big old boot, and I believe the big rig was hit on Rey Fenix. They both go up and retrieve their titles. And that got them some big heat. Like, that crowd wanted them dead, which is, obviously as a heel, that's something you want, but, it's going to be interesting to see how they end up on Wednesday. So, big fun match for me. I liked it. Next up, we have our last trios match. Finally, as we have Psycho Clown, Pagano, who is a bit of a fan favorite, and making his in-ring debut, return, technically, Cain Velasquez, as they take on L.A. Park, Rey Escorpion, and Taurus. This was definitely a big man match, which I'm okay with. You got definitely have beef between Velasquez and LA Park, in which people were very much behind LA Park on this one because, they're in his hometown. So they're going to do that. Match ends by another old school luchador coming out and pretty much distracting the heels, in which Cain Velasquez gets a submission on, I want to say it was a Scorpion. I could be wrong. Might have been Taurus. Was it Park? Could have. It might have been Park. Oh yeah, and also during the match, LA Park's two sons came out. They are also wrestlers, so they're fine. And tried to take down the good guys before the Lucha legend, I don't know who it is, I'm sorry, comes out, evens the odds. Post-match, I believe it was NGD come out, basically challenge the Clowns and Cain Velasquez to a future match. And they get into a little bit of a brawl in which the legend helps a little bit to kind of, I guess this was trying to kind of get Cain Velasquez over a little bit, in which didn't really work. Which I'm okay with that. You stay you, Mexico. Overall, it wasn't the greatest match of the night, but I did have my fun with it. If that makes any sense. Now, it is time for the main event. I think I'm going to use that from now on, Mark Henry. Sorry, dude. As we have El Hijo del Vikingo, Samurai del Sol, who is Kalisto, Jay Lethal, Bobby Fish, and Bandito, all in a 5-way match to determine the new AAA Mega Champion. Originally, it was supposed to be Vikingo versus Kenny Omega 1-on-1, and Omega had to pull out of this bout due to his myriad of injuries. Like this, I'm surprised the dude's still walking. So, overall, really good match, really good clash of styles. You got the Jay Lethal, Bobby Fish kind of ground and pound style with the more exciting Bandito, Samurai del Sol, and Vikingo doing the more of the high-flying stuff. Finished game with a moonsault from Vikingo to, I believe it was Del Sol. And then afterwards he hits a nasty-looking reverse 630, which was freaking awesome. Pin, win, then pretty much the entire locker room comes out to celebrate, which I'm very happy with this match. It was great to see a new young champion crowned. Oh, and before I forget, post the opening trios match, there was a video that played of recently released Taya Valkyrie, who I believe was women's champion at that point. Yeah, I think she did hold the AAA women's title at one point. And she challenged Perazo. So we're going to get that match down the line, which I'm in. Let's do it. Overall, really solid show, really fast-paced and different from what the NWA was, which I did enjoy. So, gonna give this, again, a thumbs up. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode as much as I did. Next time you'll be seeing me, I will be giving my predictions for Ring of Honor's final battle, which might actually be their final battle. We'll see. So, hopefully you liked the video. Please leave your comments and your thoughts on how on what you thought of either show or both shows. And yeah, let's share this all over the internet. Let's get this thing going. I thank you very much for watching. Peace.